I started as a painter at Central St Martin's, and I've always been interested in what a painting can be or what a painting can become. So I started to develop a new type of oil paint, which is called Riesk, because I wanted to make oil paintings that only consist out of oil paint. So there would not be a canvas or a board. So the painting is made out of oil paint, but at the same time it turns towards sculptures. So the way I start is I either start looking at images from outer space, I start looking at images from planets, I start looking at human interaction between each other, why some people say certain things, and how we basically move. So it has to be a movement and what kind of reactions you create. And I push the paint this far that I'll be able to keep it flexible. So not only are they very easy to move, it also means that the pigments give cell structures. These are reactions between different types of Riesks and different types of paint, which means you show the whole process of the painting basically making itself. So I only mix the paint, pour it onto either paper or to glass surfaces, and then I don't do anything anymore. So I totally withdraw myself as an author. Which means that the painting is making its own mark making. So it consists out of a life of its own, which works for me. So I think it's very important as an artist that you find your own voice and find your own method that you'll feel comfortable with working around. And as soon as you find it, other people will see that and notice that, because there has been some really strong decisions made throughout the process. Which means it's got its own identity, which is created over time, although I interfered by actually pouring on the paint. So as a painter, I actually don't do that much. It's more the idea of the paint rather than expressing my own feelings with it, which I think, in my way of working, it's very important to have a natural process. I have to be in the right moment, in the right mood to make the paint, to pour it on, use the right colours. And still sometimes goes wrong, which is quite interesting. So not only do I make the work, I also feed inspiration for my own work. And it basically, I go with the reactions with the colour, so I don't have a preconcept in my mind about what I'm actually going to make. And those can either turn out into wearable paintings, they can turn out into sculptures that are on the wall, or sculptures that are hanging free in the space, or maybe the sheet will be put onto a different sheet, onto glass, so it's more like a sculpture going on, and then might turn into a light box. But the brilliant thing about that is as soon as it's laid flat, you will see some of the reactions, but as soon as you pull the glass or you put the paper into the light totally fracks through the pigments and comes back at you, so you get the full hue and the full colours of the pigment, which is something really extraordinary. And it also means that if you see the sheet, you get the colours, you see some reactions, but as soon as you hold it into the light, there's so much more on the sheet of paint. You can see more reactions coming through, which really shows and really states something I'm very interested in. So, for example, if you meet someone, you meet them for the first time, you might be preconceived about what you think about them. You might meet them for a second or a third time, and then you kind of start seeing a different person coming through. And this is the same thing I want to achieve into my paint, and really show people that there is so much more within the field of painting than only using a brush and paint, which I think is beautiful. I think there's been really great painters all around, but I'm just doing it my way.